We have Scott Hughes, Shelbyville, and then coming up to the stage is our IHSBCA president from Knox High School, Mr. Kevin Hannon.
Thank you. On behalf of the IHSBCA and the Executive Council, I'd like to welcome everyone here to our 41st Annual Hall of Fame Banquet. I'd like to thank all coaches that have worked long hours to make events like these and others happen. Without the volunteer efforts of these people, the Hall of Fame Banquet, North-South All-Star Series, and other events wouldn't function or exist. I would like to invite all coaches to get involved and make your voices heard in our organization. Before we get started, I want to recognize three special guests with us tonight. IHSA baseball official James Robinson, Mark Flickinger of Jostens, who provides the rings for our coaches of the year, and Robert Falkins, an assistant commissioner of the IHSA, who oversees baseball, among other sports. Special thanks also to Sweet Lou, Jeff Zatter, for broadcasting a press conference earlier today and taping tonight's banquet. You can view the entire press conference and banquet at www.youtube.com and click on the IHSBCA. Thank you as well to Steve Craw of IndianaRBI.com, who does a tremendous job of covering Indiana baseball. And now I'd like to introduce the assistant to the executive director of the IHSBCA, Phil McIntyre from North Central High School.
Good evening, everyone. What a wonderful night we have to celebrate so many coaches, and the first ones we are going to celebrate is the 2018 Victory Club Award winners. They will be coming right here. We like to hold our applause to the very end. And at this time, our 2018 Victory Club Award winners that got their 100th win last spring. Derek Ellis, 6 years, Jeffersonville High School. Jeremy Ritchie, 7 years, Seymour High School. And Jesse Simmons, North Posey High School. 200 wins. Matt Cherry, 10 years, Fishers High School. And 500 wins, Chris McIntyre, 24 years, New Albany High School. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give all these gentlemen a hand for their accomplishments. Thank you, gentlemen. Our next award goes out to the 2018 IHSBCA District Coach of the Year. They were voted by their colleagues in each district as having the best accomplishments in their spring season in their district. Here's the ones in attendance today. District C, Greg Dykus, Penn High School. District F, Lee Selvey, Jay County High School. District G, Aaron Kroll and Nathan Long, Roncalli High School and Hauser High School.
Mr. Selvey.
District I, Clint Davis, Northfield High School. District J, Tim Bourdonnais, Lafayette Central Catholic High School. District K, Matt Cherry, Fishers High School. District L, Todd Webster, Pike High School. District M, Tim Terry, South Vermillion High School. District O, Gene Mattingly, South Ridge High School. And District P, Ted Thompson, Tecumseh High School. Congratulations, gentlemen. Let's give one last round of applause for the District At this time, I'd like to introduce the Executive Director, Brian Abbott, to present the IHSBCA Jostens Coach of the Year Award.
Mark, hold up your hand a second. Mark Flickinger's been with us a long time. He's from Jostens. He gives the Coaches of the Year a ring. And he's been an excellent friend to Indiana High School baseball and support of our association. And I'd like to have a nice round of applause for Mark. He will be assisted by Shane Edwards from Oak Hill High School. 1A Coach of the Year, Terry Turner. Coach Turner's been a head baseball coach for 28 years, the first 25 at Anderson High School and the last 3 years at Daleville. Coach Turner's been married 37 years to wife Debbie and has 3 children, Derek, Krista, and Jacqueline. This past season, we won our second state class single A championship. I want to thank my coaching staff and players for their loyalty and dedication to Bronco baseball, also the support received from my administration and the Daleville community. Terry Turner from Daleville High School. 2A Coach of the Year, Pat Antone. Boone Grove Wolves defeated Southbridge 5-4 to win their first IHSA state championship in the first in school history. Coach Antone's first year as a head coach, he won this award. You see a lot of firsts there, Coach. Coach Antone is honored and proud to receive this award on behalf of the committed and hardworking players, fantastic coaches, and supportive administration. He'd also like to thank God for the opportunity to be a head coach and his family for all their love and support throughout his career, especially his wife Alyssa and mother Fran. Pat Antone, Boone Grove High School. 3A Coach of the Year, Dave Fisher from the Andrean Fighting 59ers. The Andrean 59ers defeated Silver Creek 6-1 to win their 6th state title in the past 13 years, and Coach Fisher's 6th state Coach of the Year award. Coach Fisher is honored this humbling award on behalf of his players, his outstanding coaching staff, Andrean High School, his wonderful family, and he would like to thank Christ our teacher, Dave Fisher, and Andrean High School. 4A Coach of the Year, Matt Cherry from Fishers High School. In his 12th season, Coach Cherry guided the Fishers Tigers to their first state championship with a 4-3 victory over the defending state champion Cathedral. The Tigers completed the season with a 29-7 record, winning the Hoosier Crossroads Conference and the Noblesville Sectional for the 2nd straight year, and finished ranked number 26 in the Perfect Game national rankings. Coach Cherry is honored to accept this award. Cannot do so without praising and thanking his incredible coaching staff, his hardworking players, and his extremely supportive wife, Sarah. This award is for all of them as well. Matt Cherry from Fishers High School. We'll bring Mr. Phil McIntyre back up to the stage. Thank you, gentlemen. Excellent job.
Thank you, Brian, and congratulations again to all our coaches. And now, a very special time is we are now going to honor all our Hall of Fame coaches that are here this evening and their wives. And we ask that you please stand while I announce your name, and then hold your applause, everyone, until the very end. I'm going to apologize in advance if I forgot someone, and please tell me at the end, and we'll make sure we acknowledge you. We have so many. The class of 2018, Coach Rich Andrel, Guerin Catholic. He has over 500 wins and 6 semi-states and 2 state titles with Cathedral. The class of 2017, Coach Jim Sweet, Shakamak, 1 state title and 2 state finalists. Coach Gray Marchand, Lewis Katz, 550 wins and a state finalist. Coach Steve DeGroot, West Vigo, over 500 wins and a state finalist. Class of 2016, Greer Werner, Bloomington South, past president and over 400 wins. 2016 active Coach Phil Webster, Southport High School, has over 600 wins and a state championship with Decatur Central High School. Class of 2015, retired Coach Al Raby, Jeffersonville and Scottsburg, over 500 wins and 2 state finalists. 2015, retired Coach Chip O'Neill and wife Linda, South Bend Clay, over 500 wins. Class of 2014, Coach Dave Bischoff, New Haven, over 500 wins and 3 Final Fours. 2004 retired Coach Gary DeHaven and his wife Carol from Benton Central, over 600 wins. Class of 2012, Coach Tim Bourdonnais, Lafayette Central Catholic, 7 state championships. Coach Ty Calloway, Western High School, over 600 wins and a state championship. 2012 retired Coach Jim Hoff, South Spencer. 2012 retired Coach Dan Miller, Highland, also has over 600 wins and 1 state final. Class of 2011, Coach Greg Dykes, Penn High School, over 500 wins and 3 state championships. 2009, Coach Mike Frame, Huntington University. He has over 700 wins and still counting. 209, Coach Brian Dudley, Wapahani High School's, over 700 wins and a state championship. Class of 2007, Coach Terry Gobert, Jasper High School, 5 state championships and 9 semi-state titles, and he also has over 700 wins. 2007, Dyer Miller, New Point, Decatur County, over 30 years of being a professional player and coach. 2007, retired Coach Joe Rademacher, Barbara Breed, 400 wins and a state finalist. Class of 2006, Coach Dave Pishker, Andrean High School, 900 wins and 6 state championships. 2006, retired Coach Bill Stout, Pendleton Heights High School. 2004, retired Coach George Ferris, Taylor and Kokomo. He has over 600 wins and he now is assisting at Indiana Westland. Class of 2002, retired Coach John Wirtz, Indianapolis Ron Colley, over 600 wins and a state finalist. 2002, retired Coach Paul Greaves, Evansville Central, over 400 wins. Class of 2001, retired Coach Ken Seitz and his wife Kathy, Hampton Southeastern, over 500 wins, and he's still assisting in the Southeastern program. Class of 2000, retired Coach Dennis Katz, Noblesville, over 400 wins. Class of 1998, Coach Jake Burton, McCutcheon High School. He has over 800 wins and a state championship. Class of 1997, retired Coach John Tate and his wife, Richmond, Indiana, 400 plus wins and still involved with the Richmond Roosters professional team. Class of 1996, retired Coach Gary O'Neill, Madison High School, over 600 wins and a state championship. Class of 1995, retired Coach John Berger and his wife, Mary Jane, New Albany High School, over 400 wins, and the organizing committee of the IHSBCA in 1971. 1994, retired coach Tim Nante and his wife Joyce, Princeton High School, over 400 wins and a state finalist. Class of 1993, retired high school and college umpire Larry Sigler, Jeffersonville. Strike one, strike two, strike three, you're out, Larry. Class of 1992, retired coach Dick Seiler, Elkhart Memorial High School, over 500 wins, and now assisting at Bethel College. 1992, retired coach Don Shermer, Huntington High School, 600 wins, and a semi-state title. Class of 1990, retired coach Ray Howard, Jasper High School, 300 wins. He's still assisting in Jasper, and he's also our executive director of the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame. Retired coach Don Poole and his wife Dorothy, Jeffersonville, 500 plus wins in the state finalists. And class of 1988, retired coach Don Jennings and his wife Luann from Terre Haute North, over 300 wins in the state championship. Is there anybody that I did not call? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time on this. It's a wonderful honor. Okay, let's give them a hand for everything they've done. At this time, I would like to introduce the 2007 Hall of Fame inductee, Terry Gobert from Jasper High School, for introducing Tim Nante of our Hall of Fame Spotlight from Princeton.
Thank you. First of all, Scott, I want to say congratulations. Coaching Scott was in high school was one of my greatest thrills ever in coaching. And there was nothing like sitting in a major league stadium and hearing complete strangers saying, "Watch that guy right there. Watch Scott rolling every play. He played the game right." And it's just a tremendous pride watching you all those years the way you did it. I've never really expressed it enough, but it was an amazing experience, and your pride of Jasper for the way you played the game. For Tim Nante, 30 years of coaching, 14 at Lagodi, 16 at Princeton. Tim is a baseball man. The ballpark's his pride and joy. I'm sure like all coaches here, his yard looked like shit, but his baseball field looked great. He's the most intense man I ever came across on the field. He's a historian of the game. He likes to do it right. After a bad game, I think he coined the phrase, that was a masterful mule turd theater, he used to call it, when guys were making errors. As a young coach, I didn't treat Tim very well. I went over to his ballpark, I told his concession stand lady, "Hey, we're friends." He told me, ran a huge tab, about $250, never paid it. Ordered pizza once at a game, because everything like that bothered Tim. So I ordered pizza, carry out, went on a mound visit, gave my pitcher a bite, we had cheese running down, and I could see him over there just boiling. I would leave him notes in the brick dust. I won't tell you what kind of drawings, but he held having a sense of humor back better than any man I've ever known in the history of the game. Before one game, the coach said, "Hey, we're playing Nante. Anything you can tell me about him?" I said, "Yeah, he's deaf in one ear. You got to get right up on that ear. It's his left ear. Stay on it. Stay within 4 inches." So a week later, I said, "Hey, Tim, how was that game?" "What's wrong with that guy? He was biting my ear all night long, circling me like a gnat." And I don't know if I ever told Tim the truth. One game, we were ranked number 1 in the state. We played Tim. He bunted 7 times in a row. And we didn't get anybody out. And I came out of the dugout and yelled at him. I said, "Quit running up the score and start swinging away." I played the game different than anyone I knew. And after one game, I was a young coach, and Tim's group stole 9 bases against us. 9. We're shaking hands, and he said, "Terry, I'm sure that catcher's mom is really good looking, but you got to get that boy out of there." What do I want you to know? This guy is the heart and soul of Indiana baseball. And Tim, I probably never told you, I love you, man, and I've respected you from day one. Would you please welcome a round of applause and honor Tim and Joyce and their great baseball career. And no, we're not giving you the mic, but if you want to hear a funny guy, talk to Tim later. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce another great baseball man, the guy that keeps the Hall of Fame in such wonderful shape. Would you welcome Mr. Ray Howard of Jasper, Indiana?
We have a couple of firsts for this Hall of Fame inductee this evening. He's a first member from, I believe, the Big Red Machine back in the mid-'70s that we've inducted. Second, he's the first guy we've ever had to admit as a trainer getting tossed out of a ball game by an umpire. That has to be rather unique. The fact that Ron was a founding member of the Professional Baseball Athletic Trainer Society, I think speaks to the importance that was placed on athletes in all sports, and having them to be in the best physical condition that they could be in order to play the game. He's been a trainer. You can look down at his resume, primarily with the Expos for over 20 years. That takes a lot of time shoving guys in and out of the training room, in and out of the ice tub, and in and out of other places that are probably too risque to mention at this point in time. But would you please put your hands together and welcome the 190th inductee into the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame, Ron McLean.
Thank you, Ray, and I want to thank the Veterans Committee and the members of the dais here. I just hope none of your coaches asked me what my batting average was. I loved baseball. I was the 5th grade kid at 11 years old that was listening to the transistor radio with the earplug in 1961 when Mazeroski hit the home run against the Yankees, and my teacher hated the Yankees, and we cheered like crazy on that day. And I love baseball so much, and when in Little League I used to go down on Saturdays and practice with all the teams. Shag balls, did everything. They wouldn't let me hit, but I just loved being around the game. I've even got a member of the Hall of Fame here tonight that was one of the players with the Expos. In 1980, Dyer Miller was with us in spring training, and I hope I didn't hurt your arm too bad, Dyer. He got 30 years in the big leagues. So anyway, the time I had in the big leagues was, sometimes people say I was lucky, and in a way I was, but I made a lot of mistakes too. And I never thought there was anything wrong with making mistakes. You learn from your mistakes and you keep going. And I never had fear of doing anything else. The one thing I did was get thrown out from a game in 97 in New York, and I was apparently the first trainer to get thrown out of a game. However, I was right, because they fired the umpire, and he was out of baseball for 3 years after that, but he did get back in because of some of the things he was doing and saying. So I got that going for me. But no, I was a guy that I was a great hitter in Little League, and then in the 7th grade when we moved to the big field, that 500 average went to about 200. And for the next 4 years, I don't think I got much over the Mendoza line at all. But that's why I don't want you to ask my batting average. I got into baseball by one of the Hall of Fame members, Max Schumacher. I was driving a truck in the summer of my junior year in Indiana, and went by Busch Stadium and said, "Max, I'd like to learn from your trainer." And he was looking at me, and he thought I had hippie glasses on. They were just wire rims, And he called down to the trainer and said, "I got this kid up here that got hippie glasses on." He said, "He wants to learn from you." I said, "Max, you don't even have to pay me. I just want to learn from the guy." And his eyes got real big, and if you know Max, he was a very frugal man, so he liked the fact that he didn't have to pay me. So I started with the Indians, and then 2 months later, the head trainer went back to the University of Tulsa, and Vern Rapp was the manager, real hard guy, gruff man, and he was talking to me about joining the team for the last 6 weeks of the season. He called over Ken Griffey. I'll never forget it. I got this glowing recommendation from Ken Griffey. He says, "Kenny, what do you think about this guy? Do you think he could do the job?" I said, and Ken Griffey looks at me and looks back at Vern Rapp and says, "He won't hurt anybody." Glowing recommendation from Ken Griffey. So I got the job that way, and the Reds hired me afterward. And in '74, went to my first spring training with the same guys that I was a big fan of. I used to study at IU, listening to the games. In those days, it was Al Michaels. So Marty Brenneman and myself started with the Reds the same day in 1974 spring training. They had all those Hall of Famers there, and it was really great. I consider Pete Rose a Hall of Famer. But you know the names. They had Pete Rose and Tony Perez. And Pete Rose, by the way, is probably one of the funniest men you'll ever meet. Tony Perez controlled all the Latino players like he was the king and they were servants. And Johnny Bench has a little joke. When you meet Johnny Bench, he does this in front of the whole team all the time. I later learned. He grabs you by the hand and squeezes it as hard as he can. I had an IU ring on and we got blood come out of my hand. But I didn't go down to my knees. I sucked it up and that was my introduction to Johnny Bench. But a lot of those guys, Joe Morgan was a good guy. He smartest man ever. And but I always said that the best superstar I ever met was Tom Seaver. He came to the Reds in '78 and treated me like I was a teammate. And normally they treat the trainers a little more like management. They don't really want to talk to you too much. But he was great. We went to Montreal in 1980, and we had a real good team with 4 Hall of Famers on that team. Andre Dawson, probably the best person I've ever met in baseball, and Tim Raines, easily the fastest guy we ever had, and Gary Carter, bless his soul. Gary was a great catcher, and I used to kid him about carrying Bench's bags at the All-Star games and stuff, and he loved it when Bench was put up on third base, so then he would be the main man. But I just wanted to, I don't think I could have had my career go 25 years, really 32 years in pro baseball without my wife, Pamela McLean. Could you stand up, Pam? She said a lot of my 3 brothers right here. We did a lot of, stand up guys, we did a lot of home run derby in our backyard. We played baseball almost every day. And I have a daughter, Ashley McLean. Ashley was a great softball and soccer player, got more varsity letters at Franklin Central than all 3 of these. All 4 of us guys did at Warren. Stand up, Ashley. And you guys know her husband, Tim Ketchum. He was a coach at Paris Meridian for 7 years in hitting. And I got an 11-year-old grandson, Andrew. Andrew goes to Bill Sampson's Sam's Hat Shack Baseball Academy in Plainfield in Brownsburg, and he's going to be the next Tucker Barnhart, we think. We hope. But education is always important in my life, and I just wanted to honor somebody that I invited here tonight. I've always admired teachers, and I hated the fact that they had to pay for things out of their own pockets for people. So my wife and I have been honoring teachers the last 3 years. And this year's honorary Teacher of the Year from Brownsburg School System, Wesley Warren. So again, thank you very much. I'm really honored by this award, and the fact that you don't really have to be a great hitter or a baseball player to make it. I did put my life into baseball, and I really enjoyed it, and just want to thank everybody. Thank you.
After graduating from Notre Dame, he went straight to the major leagues, where he played for 19 years with the Cubs and the Phillies. We think that this infield shift over the last couple of years is a relatively new thing, but the first shift was for Cy Williams, as he developed a dead pull stroke that was well suited, and you got to be really old to recognize the old Baker Bowl, which is where the Phillies played. All the infielders would be on the same side of the infield. He tied Babe Ruth's record with home runs in 1923. They both had 41. Cy had 11 pinch hit home runs, and that was the record, major league record, until up to 1960. He won or shared 4 home run titles in a 12-year span from 1915 to 1927. A well-known architect and builder with many works that are still noticeable today. Accepting on behalf of our 191st Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Cy Williams, is his grandson. Please welcome Paul Williams.
Good evening. It is with sincere appreciation from the Williams family that we thank you for honoring Cy tonight. He was born an Indiana son who went on to excel in many areas of work and life. However, it is his remarkable accomplishments in Major League Baseball that tonight we bring his name forward. First, I want to acknowledge all who bring expertise and joy to the sport of baseball. I especially want to recognize our hosts Ray Howard and Jeff McKeon for their work and assistance. Now about Cy. He played Major League Baseball for 19 years through the age of 42. He first played for the Cubs for 6 years, starting in 1912, before being traded to the Phillies in 1918. His final season was 1930. Cy won the National League home run crown 4 times. 2 in the dead ball era, and 2 in the live ball era. And to give you an idea of how much the ball change revolutionized the game, Cy won the home run title in 1916 with 12 homers, but it took 41 to win in 1930 with the live ball. Record books show that he was a dominant National League slugger for the decade of the 1920s. OPS, on base percentage plus slugging, is a good measure here. From 1920 to 29, Cy's OPS average was .919. He finished in the top 3 in home runs for both leagues 11 times during his career. In 1927, Cy won his 4th home run crown. He was 39 years old. Nobody before or since has won a crown at that age or older. There's an interesting note. Cy played for the Cubs between his junior and senior year at Notre Dame. That made him ineligible to play for Notre Dame the senior year, so he was appointed to be the manager and enjoyed a successful season. As he started his major league career, Cy played under 14 managers for his first 14 years. Not sure if that's a record. Cy was a fast center fielder, with some believing him to be the fastest in all of baseball at the time. He was very tall and thin, always in top physical condition his whole life. At Notre Dame, he was on the track team for high and low hurdles and long jump. He was invited to participate in the Stockholm Olympics since he had tied the world record in high hurdles. However, he was already committed to play for the Cubs, so he had to decline the offer. While at Notre Dame, he became a friend of Newt Rockne. In his freshman year, Cy backed up Rockne as a wide receiver. It was the only year Cy played football, but it was the year that the press coined the name the Fighting Irish. Over half of the players had Irish surnames. So Cy was an original Fighting Irish. Rockne and Cy remained friends until Rockne's death. Cy wrote that Rockne was inspirational even as a student and would work harder than anyone to accomplish a goal. Known as an excellent fielder, Cy had 4,180 putouts, 226 base runners thrown out, and he started 40 double plays. The original Cy Williams shift was used for Cy, later used on Ted Williams and Billy Williams. Cy was a dead pull left-hand hitter. The shifts were extreme, with all defenders moving to the right half of the field. But he still got his hits. It's clear from the numbers that he was a line drive hitter who happened to homer frequently. He claimed that he never purposely tried to hit a home run, nor took an uppercut swing. In the 10 years of the 1920s, his batting average was .310. His lifetime on-base batting average is .365. Another all-time record still held by Cy for pinch hit home runs. He holds a total of 11, with 9 being next. He hit 3 homers in one game on May 11, 1923, and twice hit grand slams in extra innings. Few players have accomplished hitting for the cycle, a single, a double, a triple, and a home run. In a game against Pittsburgh in 1927, Cy hit for the super cycle, which meant that he had a walk as well. Here's a couple of interesting and documented home run stories. In 1925 in Philly, Cy hit a home run well out of the park. It turns out that the ball lands in a picnic basket in the back of an open touring car that's driving by. The ball is later discovered at the Atlantic City beach by the people in the car as they set up their picnic. Go forward a couple of years to May 7, 1927. We're in Philly against Pittsburgh, local rivals. Bottom of the 9th, 2 out. Philly down by 1, a man on base. Cy is at bat with a full count. And back in the day, the rule for a home run was that it had to land in fair territory. So it can go over the fence fair, but if it curves and lands foul, it's called foul. Cy hit what appears to be a home run as it goes over the fence. The home crowd cheers, but the ump rules that it curved and landed foul. Next pitch, Cy connects, and it's the exact same hit. It goes out fair, ump calls it landed foul. Now the crowd's in a frenzy. The next pitch is delivered, and Cy again hits it over the fence. This time it lands without any doubt, fair, a home run. As Cy rounds the bases, the field is rushed by the fans, and Cy is hoisted onto shoulders. One account has him picked up and carried as he rounds second base. On a personal basis, Cy was known to be quiet, a gentleman, very focused, a team player, respectful of the game, demanding of himself. He was ethical in all aspects of his life, never took a drink while in baseball, never ever argued with an ump. He was very personable to all and would be one to ham it up if asked to do so. He would sing and perform in community charity events. He used his degree in architecture to design and build over 50 lake homes with a patented log construction technique. Many boathouses with cantilever decks that stretch over the lake, churches, restaurants, hotels, resorts, and cranberry marsh dams. He won many design awards, and to this day, his homes bring a premium on the market. He became the town's largest employer. So that is a quick peek at my grandfather. I know that in some way he is looking on being here with us.
Our 192nd inductee served in the capacity of head baseball coach and an umpire. So his input on the sport was felt in multiple ways, likely on the giving and receiving end of some untimely remarks. As a coach, giving, and as an umpire, receiving. In a dugout for 26 seasons as either a head or assistant coach, with many successful seasons, the winningest coach at South Central, a regional coach of the year twice, sharing state titles in 2000 with LaPorte. Recognition likewise as an umpire, just as successful. 4 times umpire of the year, doing 3 all-star games, 4 state finals, and culminating with the IHSAA NFOA Umpire of the Year Award in 2016 and 2017. Our 192nd inductee into the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame, please welcome Bob Schellinger.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. Executive Director, Mr. Brian Abbott, officers of the IHSBCA, coaches and honored guests, good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank the IHSBCA for this honor tonight. You can't realize how much this means to me. Also, I'd like to thank Jim Treadway and umpire Steve Kaiser for nominating me for this award. I'd like to congratulate all the inductees. Where you look at their resumes and what a class this is for this year. You know, if there's been one constant in my life, it's been baseball. From the time I was 5 years old, and my mom bought a book and sat me down and taught me about a baseball field, where the pitcher's mound was, the batter's box, the coach's boxes. To my dad coaching me in Little League, to playing Babe Ruth baseball, to playing high school baseball, to coaching high school baseball for 27 years and umpiring for 46 years and counting. Baseball's been in my life for 60 years. I was very fortunate in my lifetime that people took me under their wings to help me. As far as coaching, Coach John Ostrowski, the head baseball coach at Illinois Benedictine College, took me under his wing. He taught me how to and what to coach as a baseball coach. He even let me, as my junior and senior year, to coach the JV team at IBC. Everything that I started my coaching career came from Coach O. As I moved on and was named the head baseball coach at South Central High School up in Union Mills, Indiana, my help there was Coach Corey Gores. Corey Gores was my assistant for 12 of the 16 years that I was a head coach. Coach Gores is here tonight, and I'd like to thank Coach Gores for all his help. He's sitting in the back over there. Thanks, Corey. When I moved to LaPorte, I became the head football coach at LaPorte, and I served in that capacity for 22 years. I was also very fortunate to be able to get into the baseball program, and I worked with 2 outstanding head coaches there, Coach Ken Schreiber and Coach Scotty Up. While coaching with Coach Up, we were able to win the state championship in 2000. Coach Up, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to be in your program and the things that we achieved while we were at LaPorte. Thank you very much, Coach Up. Also in attendance with us tonight in the Slicer Brigade, which there'll be another Slicer up here in a little bit, is our athletic director, Mr. Ed Gilland, who drove down especially for tonight. I appreciate you being here, Mr. Gilland. Thank you very much. The other part of my baseball story was umpiring. Back when I was 15 or 16 years old, a man by the name of Bill Sarukas, a veteran umpire in South Bend, took me under his wing and taught me how to umpire. Today, 50 years later, Bill and I serve on the board of directors of the St. Joe Valley Officials Association. I've been involved with IHSAA baseball for 52 years. I've seen it from many angles. As a player, as a coach, as an umpire, and yes, even as a parent. And that might have been the most frustrating time sitting in the stands. But through all this, I think the relationships that we make in our coaching and in our umpiring are what are important. Now, as you move on in life, these relationships are more important than the wins and losses. The wins and losses seem to fade away, and most people don't care about your wins and losses anyway. So seeing those move on and you move on in life, that's what it's all about. Those relationships that we make as we go through these fields. Probably one of the most important relationships that we forge in our careers is with our players. And I always thought about success. And success to me is seeing them succeed in life. During our times as coaches, how many players have you taken under your wing and helped to stay straight and be a success in life? That's what our successes are measured on as we get older and get away from the coaching field. A couple of weeks ago, I reached out to one of my former players. Unfortunately, his wife has cancer. He told me a lot of things as I talked to him, but one of the things that he told me was this. He said that other than his parents, I was the most influential person in his life. Guys, that's what we do. That's what we really do to help make kids a success. We take kids under our wing and we help them become young adults to be successful. Don't ever stop doing that. That is great stuff. That's stuff that we remember. As I said, I have been an umpire for 46 years. 99% of the coaches are great guys. How many of you are wondering if you're in that 1%? So are umpires. And I know we yell at umpires. I look back to my coaching career, and ashamedly I say I was thrown out of 10 ball games as a coach. That's a lot. Thank God we didn't have to sit a game after you got thrown out back in those days. But anyway, I learned from all that. And like I said, I even umpired when I was coaching, but umpires, you don't imagine how much time they spend, the good ones, how much time they spend to be good. I've been fortunate. I have met many coaches and fellow umpires from all around the state that I have made friendships with because of baseball. Just a side note, if you're ready to get out of coaching and you want to stay close to the game, umpiring could be for you. And heck, you coaches, you've been umpiring your whole career anyway, you might as well get paid for it. But we do need umpires very badly. We're canceling games because we don't have umpires. Right now, we have more umpires over 60 or more officials over 60 years old than we do under 30 years old. I was at an umpires meeting the other night up in South Bend. There were 30 umpires in the room. Not one umpire was under 40 years old. Guys, it's a problem. So really, I truly, if you want to stay close to the game and you're tired of standing out in that March snow and rain, umpiring could be for you. And if you feel that need, there's a guy right down here you can talk to, Mr. Falkins. He'll sign you up. Finally, if I can, I'd like to introduce my family and recognize them and thank them for all the years that I've been involved in coaching and umpiring. First, I'd like to introduce my brother, Jimmy Schellinger, and his wife, Laura. You guys wave or stand up, whatever. My three sisters, Mary Claire from Parma, Ohio. My sister Patty Sue from Valparaiso and her husband Bill. And my sister Ann. You think we got a tough job? Ann was a police officer for 38 years. And what a job she did. I'd like to recognize my children. Sometimes in coaching we say we spend more time with our players than we do with our own kids. And sometimes that's true. You know, we miss a lot of functions that they do. And one of my main reasons for going to LaPorte High School from South Central was I was going to get to see my kids play. And that was very important to me. I'd like to introduce my daughter Tricia, who is a middle school teacher, and her husband Todd. My son Robbie, who's a middle school teacher and also the associate head coach at LaPorte High School. My son Mark, who is also a secondary social studies teacher, high school teacher. He is the head baseball coach at New Prairie High School. Kevin is also with us tonight. I guess Kevin thought that 5 educators in one family were enough, and he's in the hotel business. He is one of the managers of the Morris Inn at the University of Notre Dame. Kevin Schellinger. And my one son that's not with us tonight, unfortunately couldn't make it here. He works in the computer business and he lives in Austin, Texas, and that's my son Danny. And my wife of 41 years, Lori. There really should be a Hall of Fame for coaches' wives. I'm pretty sure she would be inducted into that Hall of Fame. She always brought the kids every game, no matter what the weather, no matter how old they were, no matter how far away the game was. True story, back in 1980, we were playing a doubleheader on a Saturday. Typical northern Indiana weather, rainy, cold, windy. We played the doubleheader. Lori's not at the game. Well, where is she? We only got one kid. Should be able to, make it there. She'll be able to 5. But anyway, she didn't show up for the game. So I walk in the front door when I get home. I said, "Oh, fair weather fan. Don't come when the weather's bad." She says, "I'm in labor." Later that day, Robbie was born and we had our second child. I could talk for hours and hours about baseball and umpiring, and stories could flow. But my son Robbie, who told me a couple times since this all has taken place, he says, "Dad, you sat out in that audience at those conventions for 27 years. Make it short." And with that, I will. Thank you very much to the IHSBCA. This is a great honor, and thank you very much. Have a great evening.
His stint as an assistant coach at LaPorte saw Coach share 2 state titles there in 1989 and 1990. As a head coach at Brownsburg High School, he garnered a state title with a 2005 team that has been called by the Indy Star the greatest of all time. 35-0. As Coach said, truly amazing. At Brownsburg, there were many titles. 5 conference crowns, 3 sectionals, 3 regionals, 3 semi-states. There was a state runner-up twice, 2003, 2004. His resume includes 12 first-team All-State players, 2 Mr. Baseballs, over 50 players in college, and 3 that are currently playing Major League Baseball. He's our 193rd inductee into the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame. Please welcome Mr. Pat O'Neill.
Woo, what a night. I was thinking about on the speech, just everybody, at 7th inning stretch, everybody stand up, give a little shout out or whatever. But I think by the time, about 13.7 seconds later, half of you will be out of here. So I don't want to do that, but appreciate everybody being here tonight. What a great night. Outstanding committee. Indiana High School Baseball Coaches Association is the best around. Been coming. It's early, Pat. Wake up. Been coming here for over 30 years. Met a lot of people, a lot of friends, and that's what baseball is all about. Does anybody have an older brother? Anybody have an older brother? Seriously. And I'm sure they never lied to you. Because I have 2 older brothers. One's here tonight, Chip. Of course, everybody knows Chip. And Hall of Famer, great kid, great player, great coach. And I always believed everything he told me. Not a good idea. Especially tonight. Okay, I'm getting a little nervous, as you can tell, but even nervous here, okay? That's for Scott up there. Earlier, and he said, "Hey, just chill out, relax, go to the bathroom for a few minutes, jot down a few notes and come back in, you'll be all right. All right, Chip, thanks. So I went in there. It wasn't a few minutes. I swear to God, Chip, you've been lying to me for my whole life. Here's my notes, okay? And I don't think we have all that time to do this, Chip. So anyways, thanks for being you. Okay, now, you know, when you think about it, this award is not just mine. Okay. Many people, fans, players, friends, administrators, community, just are there for you. And you do what you gotta do to represent them, do things with class, be the best that you can be for them, and they'll be the best they can be for you. And it all starts out, I'm just gonna give the thanks right now so I can move on with the journey real quick. So I'm gonna say the thank yous, first of all, you know, starting out at my first couple of years at South St. Joe High School, you work there because you love education, you love athletics, and the people you're around, and I was that way at South St. Joe. Chip was the head coach, and Phil Teagarden, the AD, great people, great start to my career. Holy Water didn't pay a whole lot of money though, so I got out of there. So I went to my hometown, LaPorte, great opportunity with Coach Schreiber, his staff, Dave Reed, Dave Parcell, Ed Gilliland, great people. Learned a lot, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Moving on to Fountain Central High School, little school down in Petersburg, okay? It is a great opportunity for me there to be the head coach for 5 years, ended up being the head football coach for 5 years, doing 2 major sports, 24/7, 12 months a year. Anyways, it was a great opportunity, good experience, and you know, Phil Rash was the athletic director, some great assistants, but we actually rebuilt the whole field, and I got a little more on that in a minute. Okay, then moving on, I went to Brownsburg High School. No, I didn't. I went to Major League Baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays for 3 years, traveling around the United States, 30,000 miles per year in the car, and away from my children was too much. And so then I took the job as girls softball coach at Covington. Yes, girls softball coach. My daughter, I know she enjoyed having me out there kicking dirt and yelling at everybody else, and then getting on her too. All right, here we go. All right, moving on. Then going on to Brownsburg High School, great opportunity, a Diamond in the Rough program. And Bill Titus called me up one day and showing up there, and Bill's here tonight. Bill and his wife Laura, give them a round of applause, please. Best athletic director around, and I love him to death. But gave me an opportunity at Brownsburg, and really enjoyed that span of 10 years there, having a lot of success. My assistant coaches, we got Jeff McKeon, I call him McKeon, okay? Call him what you want, but I call him Jeff McKeon, Bill McIntyre, great assistant coaches, as well as many others that I had, and I love them to death. Then I, after 10 years there, got out for 3 years, so I just kick and relax after 25 years. The physical wear becomes the mental wear, and there's not much mental there, so I got to watch myself a little bit there. So, that gave me a chance to go watch Lance Lynn, Tucker Barnhart, Drew Storm, pitch in major leagues, and just go to a high school game and relax. I don't have to worry about umpires or parents or administrators or anybody else. So that was fun for 3 years. And then I got a great call from Rick Cosgray at Lebanon High School. Rick Cosgray, you're still back there, aren't you? Right there you are. Thank you, Rick. Love you, buddy. And he called me up and asked me to be his pitching coach. I went up there for about an hour and talked baseball, and offered me the job, and I was there for 3 years, had a great time with it, which I'll talk a little more on. Then I Driving on my way to fall workouts to Lebanon, I get a phone call from John Regatius, and the athletic director at Danville calls me up, asks me, hey, I need a baseball coach, you ready? And I said, well, let me think. Yes, I'm ready, okay. He said, what took you so long for thinking? So, ended up getting the job there, and my assistants, Chris Marco, Spud, Skylar Dillon are here. Appreciate them being here, give them around. And then you got friends, I don't know, umpires, coaches, we're all friends together. But we certainly are, we all have that bond, okay? But when I come home, my neighborhood, outstanding. I have special friends here. One of my teammates from high school, or two of my teammates from high school from 1975, which is amazing. You think, God, I thought he was only 35, but yes, from 1975 graduating class. And Mike Slevin, Chuck Tobar, I don't know if they're still here now or there you are. Nice job, fellas. All right, give them a round of applause. Love you guys. Appreciate you being here. And then I got my neighborhood friends, okay? You talk about a good time. You guys are all invited after tonight if you want to come on over. They're sitting right here. Raise your hand there, please. We got Eric and Jen, Suzelle, John, Andy, Tracy. Outstanding people. Very, very much fun for supporting me and my life, okay? And then I go on to my family, and family is very, very important. Obviously, mom and dad, rest in peace. I knew I was going to do that. Okay, and then I got my sister Colleen. Come on. She would have been a heck of a second baseman for us, playing outdoors in the wintertime, turning all the lights on the side of the house in a foot of snow just so we can get our workout in before March tryouts came around, and she was always there for me and still is today. My Hall of Fame brother Chip, and Chip, my best friend, taught me so much, and I really appreciate it. Okay. Also, a very important part, of course, my daughter's mother, Sue, who was there for me and for my daughters. My in-laws, Greg and Kathy, Tom and Cheryl. Appreciate you guys. You guys are funny as heck and make my life a lot more funnier, besides the mirror. And then my stepchildren, Michael and Jenny. 10 years. Now you know about moods of coaches, and I appreciate it. Your love and support and everything, and you guys are the best. Love you guys. And then, of course, my caring, beautiful wife, Carol. Please stand up, Carol. She told me she was 35. That's ridiculous. Anyways, what a great mother to her children, and a mother and friend to my daughters, and I couldn't ask for anybody else, and she's always there for me, even if I only listen to 1.3% of everything she says. It's usually the 1.3% that I need to listen to, okay? So listening to that, young people. Okay. And finally, my daughter's, Katie's not here today. She got a new job out in Arizona and loving it out there, and look at us here. So yeah, she made the right decision. But she started a new job and loves it out there with her husband Brandon, and on video. I love you guys. And then my oldest daughter, Maureen, and her husband Matt. We please stand, Maureen and Matt. Times have been tough at times and great at other times, and you're always there, Mo. I know you're proud of me, and I'm proud of you. Okay. Here we go. Problem ninth. It's all about the journey. The people you meet, the players you lead, all the impact you have on their lives. Lance Lynn, Drew Storm, Tucker Barnhart playing in the majors. I'm very proud of them. But I'm even more proud of the individuals that are great parents, great fathers, husbands, leaders. They make me happy and proud as well. And there's many of them. My journey, you know, my first coaching job, I'm going to try to get this through real quick. I'm going on a 3.6 minute thing here, okay? So I started out coaching when I was 14 years old. Chip was 18, okay? So he asked me to be assistant coach for the Little League team. All right, let's go ahead for it. Well, I realized that the Little Leaguers, they were taller than him. He needed a bodyguard. So as it turns out, we had a great time together. And after 1 year, he went to college, became the man that he is today. And I coached the Little League team for the next 3 years, basically on my own with a dad, great dad. And we went 0-10. Okay, a lot of dingleberry dandelion picking and all that stuff. And then went to 6-4. We thought, oh man, we're getting pretty good. Then we went 10-0, won the city attorney the next year. Life is good. I think I want to be a coach. And so, as it turns out, I went to South Bend St. Joe. And you talk about some of you young coaches that get all this materialistic stuff. And, oh yeah, look at this pretty outfit. Yeah, we got new bats. Jeez, oh Pete, people, you should have seen us back in 1981 in St. Joe. We had no field, okay? Indoor workouts, you're hitting tennis balls. So me and Chip and the other assistant are up in the middle of the gym, and all the kids, you got 3 groups here taking batting practice with tennis balls, and balls are just flying everywhere. Kids are getting waxed left and right. Chip and we're just rolling, you know. But the kids, they end up with great reflexes. So I learned about improvising from St. Joe. I went over to LaPorte and Ken Schreiber, one of my greatest friends, mentors, love him to death, miss him every day. Program comes first. You do what's right, program comes first. Discipline, hard nose, get after it, fundamentals, and you have the best chance for success, and we did. Love them to death. Going down Fountain Central, I was telling you, field maintenance, they had the lines out inside the bases, down the first and third baseline. And the grass wasn't cut or whatever, but anyways, we worked it out. We ended up putting 2 tons of ag line, 300 feet of sod. Somebody decided to tell me about an auger, okay? I don't know, is that a hamburger that's from Australia or what? And I didn't know, but my middle linebacker told me, he says, Coach, we can take care of that drainage system. I'll bring my auger, okay? So he left one day, was gonna meet me out there. He was only 5 miles away. It took him an hour and 80 minutes to do the math. Okay, so he goes ahead, he shows up. We dug 33 holes, 5.5 feet deep into the infield, okay? And then I took my Toyota Corolla that was ready to drop and filled the truck up with limestones and went to each hole and dropped the limestone, and then we had ag lime, or pea gravel sand, all the way up to the last 6 inches. Then we threw some topsoil and some grass seed. We had one rain out in the next 5 years. So we might not have won all the time, but we had an auger. Okay, so had a great time with Tampa Bay Rays. You know, soaked in the knowledge from the pros, organization, going to Covington, girls softball, make them feel important, be able to coach my daughter. Going to Brownsburg, Diamond in the Rough program, needed a little piss of vinegar. Can I say piss? A little piss of vinegar in the program, and we did it. You know, every year we were ranked in the top 10 every year, and we're fortunate enough to have some good players. But we also set a tone and a chemistry, and what we wanted in the program, and the kids bought in. Great success, a lot of fun. My assistant coach, like I said, and the athletic director was awesome, as well as the players and parents. All right, moving on. Lebanon, work ethic. Coach Kyle is great. funny, good time, but also chemistry. He's had 2 players get drafted out of there recently. One of them I was able to coach, Reed Schaller, who's got drafted the 3rd round by Washington Nationals this year, and again, throwing 98 miles an hour, not bad. And he's going to have a lot of success, but I really appreciate Coach Cosgray going to Danville, try to build a foundation like he did at Brownsburg, and getting a new field already, turf, fence, but it's not all materialistic things. I want heart, okay? I want commitment, and that's the way that we plan on doing things at Danville. All these schools, people have made an impact on me that I can never repay, but say thank you. Okay, here's one good baseball story I'll tell you, and I got some final words of wisdom. I got 1.3 minutes left. Okay, and it says, or what happened? Bottom of the 9th, or bottom of the 7th, state finals in 05. Okay, I've never said it in my life. We're gonna win this game when I go into the dugout. I never felt that way or never said that way, no matter what the score was. But that day we're up 6-2 going to the bottom of 7th, and I go in the dugout, I turn around, and I go down and get my 3 sips of water. Long story. But anyways, 3 sips of water, sit down. Next thing you know, Texas Laker, base hit batter, base hit. Now it's and then a walk. So now it's 6-4, base loaded, nobody out. And I'm thinking, you gotta be kidding me. And I know Sharper's just smiling down the sideline, and he's thinking, you know what's about that big right now, coach? And so I go out to talk to big Lance. Lance, 6'5" and 280, and I'm slim, 5'10", and whatever. And so I go out there to Lance. I say, hey, Lance, how you feel? I'm good, coach. No, seriously, Lance, you're not very good. Seriously, you gave up that double to this guy in the first inning, but hey, stick with the game plan. Get yourself a strikeout, pitch a double play ball, and let's get the hell out of Excuse me. Okay, let's get out of here and put a lime in the coconut and get the job done. And he looks at me and says, put a lime in the coconut? I said, just get the damn job done. So I went back to the dugout. 3 pitches, strikeout, next pitch, thank God, the guy swung, ground ball to Bomea at short, flipped to Dragstrom at second, over to Storm at first, double play, game's over, and never forget, put the lime in the coconut. So I'm going to finish it up real quick. I know I got 1.1 minutes left, and views on aging, especially you young people, you always want to rush through life, like, you know, whatever, why? I mean, look at Chip. Alright, so I love it, man. Okay. Alright. Do you realize that the only time in our lives when we like to get old is when we're kids? If you're less than 10 years old, you're so excited about aging, you think in fractions. How old are you? I'm 4.5. You're never 36.5, you're 4.5 going on 5. That's the key. You get in your teens, now they can't hold you back. You jump to the next number or even a few ahead. How old are you? I'm gonna be 16. You could only be 13, but hey, you're gonna be 16. And then the greatest day of your life, you become 21. Even the words sound like ceremony. You become 21, yes. But then, you turn 30. Ooh, what happened there? Makes you sound like bad milk. You turn. We gotta throw them out. There's no fun now. You're just sour dumpling. What's wrong? What's changed? You become 21, you turn 30, you reach pushing 40. Whoa, put on the brakes. Put on the brakes. It's all slipping away. Before you know it, you reach 50, and your dreams are gone. But wait, you make it to 60. You didn't think you would. So you become 21, turn 30, push 40, reach 50, make it 60. You put up so much speed, you hit 70. After that day, it's a day-by-day thing. You hit Wednesday. You get into your 80s. Every day is a complete cycle. You hit lunch. You turn 4:30. You reach bedtime. And it doesn't end there. Into the 90s, you start going backwards. I was just 92. Then a strange thing happens. If you make it over 100, you become a little kid again. I'm 100.5. So may you all make it to a healthy 100.5. I love baseball, and I appreciate everything, everybody. Good night.
probably have read many of the accolades for our next inductee, and they are numerous, and most of those are well known. However, there's one that is not listed anywhere. As a 10-year-old, he came to a Jasper baseball camp. It was a week-long camp, daily, 8 to 4, camp that tried to teach some basic baseball fundamentals. Myself and 2 or 3 other of the area coaches put on the camp, and we decided it would be good to give a grade to each of the camper in fielding, throwing, hitting, and base running. And we decided it would be a good thing to give each camper a card that they could take home with a grade on it, with information that might help them become a better player. And we would keep track of the cards as well. At the end, near the end of our week long, we got the coaches together, and we were beginning to talk about each of the kids that we'd had and those that stood out. The consensus was this Roland kid has a good chance to be a pretty good player. I wish I still had that card that showed how he graded out. In 1999, Enos Furley, now the E5 Foundation, was created. It was created to help children and families who struggle with hardships and special needs, with the camp by Lake Monroe that he started and is still in existence. He's currently the newly named IU Director of Player Development and is now the 194th inductee into the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame. Would you please welcome Scott Rowland.
So I jotted some stuff down on a sheet of paper to help me remember stuff. That's up in the hotel room. And I was thinking, as we were going along, since I have no sheet to remind me, I'm glad it's not a competition with Cy, because the greatest thing I built is with Lincoln logs, and they shifted for me also on the same side of the field as Cy. I do drink. And I was thrown out of 3 games, so I think Cy's pretty far ahead of me on that. I'm going to chronologically go through and thank everybody along the way. Obviously, the nomination, Ryan, thank you very much, and High School Coaches Association for the induction. I'm truly honored. I really appreciate it. Coach Gobert, he hit the bathroom. I gotta go too. Coach, we all have to go. I'm gonna try, guys. Coach Gobert, thank you very much. I played for Coach for 3 years there in Jasper. Taught me a lot of baseball, was around through the minor leagues and helped me, always opened up the facility and let me come through throwing BP up in the batting cages and helped me along for sure. So thank you very much, Coach. Mr. Howard, thank you very much also for the induction here in the Hall of Fame. It's actually right across the street from where I grew up in Jasper. We used to ride bikes over there quite a bit, so that's pretty exciting as well. Moving along, Coach Gobert. I'm going to stump a little bit here. Dave Taylor is at our table, has been a great friend of mine for a long time. He created the Indiana Bulls. I played on the first Indiana Bulls team, what year? 91, 2? Something like that, 92. He spent a lot of sleepless nights and hours trying to put the organization together, trying to promote a lot of our players, Todd Dunwoody up in Lafayette, and myself as well. He put me in front of the Major League Scouting Bureau at the time, which brought a lot of attention, as Coach Gobert can attest to a lot of our ball games later, gave me some great opportunities, and I think ultimately got me drafted. So Dave, thank you. I hope you're up here real soon as well. So I've done a lot of great things for Indiana baseball. Normally, I try to take opportunities to gush for my family. My dad's back is worse than mine, unbelievably. They're in Florida right now. I don't feel too bad for them, but they were unable to travel and be up here. My brother is hopefully watching his son eat up Castle in Bloomington South in a basketball game right now, and my sister's down in Florida as well. But you know, there's just no better childhood, there's no better upbringing than I've had. Our house was just full of humility and discipline and love, and you know, they really put us in situations to succeed at all turns. And you know, we had great opportunities, and I can't thank them enough. They're going to be around here, and they're with the grandkids all the time. So great family environment. Believe it or not, my wife and children are not here as well. My daughter got sick today and had to leave basketball practice, which kind of pissed me off. I wouldn't mind her being a little tougher. I have to be here, damn it, but we're going to finish the Killers. They're my, Rain and Finn are my son and daughter, 14 and 11. That's my little security detail right there. They keep me in check. When my back went out the last time, Rain was videoing me getting off the plane going to Florida. That's fun. Thank you, honey, for taking care of me. Finn, as we heard, Director of Player Development there at Indiana University, it's a volunteer position, so he calls it a fob. That's a fake job. That's when I'm going to FERC. Okay, we went to an IU banquet, he called it a banquet. Okay, so that's fun, he's 11. No, but they're, I mean, that's what I do right now. You know, I get asked quite often, you know, what's retirement look like? What are you up to? What I'm up to is, as we talk, Jeff Mercer's here, head coach. Thanks for hanging, dude. I know you got to go to the bathroom too. He gave me an opportunity here at Indiana University to stay around the game and hopefully help some kids. I can't directly coach them, but I can recruit your 6-year-olds, according to the NCAA. So, he gave me a great opportunity there, so that's still a lot of time. And the true answer is, you know, I wish my family were here for sure, so that I could address to them and tell them, you know, specifically, they are my life. That is what I do right now, and I've been, you know, very privileged and honored to be able to help coach them and be around youth sports, believe it or not. And so that's been a great treasure for me for sure. So I'll leave you with this. I put on my plaque when we have to address our plaque, and we kind of make our own plaques out, and that was a tough one. Was it tough for you guys as well? It's going to be there for a while. Who knows what to put on it? But I'll say this: I travel around quite a bit. My wife traveled with me. It's difficult on families from time to time. I got to see, you know, our country from top to bottom, coast to coast, and all around the world. And I live in Bloomington, Indiana, and I'm a Hoosier. I'm happy to be back. I love Indiana, and I grew up in Jasper, Indiana, and I was taught work ethic, community, service, and we're a family. And I really appreciate that coming out of my house and coming out of Jasper, Indiana. I'm a Jasper Wildcat, I'm a Hoosier. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of every banquet, we always conclude by opening up our program to page 2, the inside cover, if you will. One of our founding fathers, Mr. Bill Jones, came up with this closing remark by Jeanette Doan's granddaughter of inductee Lou Krieger of 2004 banquet. Mr. Jones always said this quote at the end. It's called Baseball Heroes. Some people think that baseball is just a game. They are wrong. Baseball is about reaching deep inside yourself to catch the ball that can't be caught and hit the pitch that can't be hit. It's about the soul. Baseball is about bad hops, bad breaks, bad throws, and bad calls. It's about striking out and making errors. It's about overcoming all of those things. Baseball is about kids who become stars, and stars who become heroes, and heroes who become legends. Thank you.
All right, it's raffle time. Get your tickets out and get your little yellow sheet. If your number is called, Mr. Abbott's going to hang tough on it and keep it. And we'll write him down. Number one, you got is a $100 bill. Mr. Kirkhoff will give you that. If you have the second one, the baseball is up here. You come and get the baseball. You can take it over and Scott will be kind enough to sign it for you right there. And then from then on, you'll look at the numbers and you'll be 3, 4 through 20. And then you'll go back there to the back end and you can pick out whatever on the table. And when it gets down to 20, you got what's left. So we appreciate all the support. Everything goes to the Baseball Hall of Fame, every penny. So we'll start now with we got yellow tickets and blue tickets this time. First time we've ever had a two-color ticket. That's what it is. So they said, don't look at them, just pull them out. It's yellow. But I can't read the number without my glasses on. When you get 80, that happens, believe me. I think the number is 307. Are all the yellow tickets the same first 3 digits or not? No. No, all right. 307-925. If you have it, holler out. Winner, winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. There you go. All right. This one is going to be for the baseball. When you get this, you take this to Mr. Rowland. He'll be kind enough to sign it for you right there. Huh?
After he goes to the bathroom.
No, he'll go to the bathroom after he signs it.
We'll see.
Well, that one, Luzader, you might want to get that one on tape.
Right.
350093. If you have it, scream or something. Somebody got it? Hustle. You got to run. We're running late. Gary O'Neill said we got to be done by 9:30. Give that to him. Can you reach over that far? Okay. All right. Now we go. You'll keep these in this order. Somebody take them to Mr. Rowland's table. He doesn't know where he's going. All right. This is number 3, 5350124. If you have it, holler. 350, we have it? 350124. Nobody has it? You get 2 chances and it's over. We throw it out and do it again. It's done. Too bad. Yellow, 308009. 30, somebody got it? Okay. I guess he's back there somewhere. Who is it, Turner? You don't need that, just hang on to it. You got to go in the back. Baseball coaches from Daleville, they can't remember nothing. He hadn't been to Jasper for a year, who knows where he'd have been. Blue ticket, 350278. You got it? All right. Write these down. Okay. One, oh, that's good to know. My wife told me that once too. 350044, it's a blue ticket. Somebody's got it? Okay. All right, we have a yellow ticket. 307849. 307849. We got it? All right. Now we got a blue ticket coming out, maybe. I don't know. Nope, it's a yellow one. 307834. 307834. Nobody? 30783. Huh? Okay, we got one? All right. No, you don't have to go back here. You don't got the tickets up here. You got to take them one at a time. Well, he's back there. Blue ticket, 350087. There is one? Winner, all right. We have yellow ticket, 307818. 307818. What's that mean? Winner. It takes long for these people to look at their tickets. It's not like science. Blue ticket, 350264. All right, that lady just threw her hands up right now. That's good. All right, we got a yellow ticket, 307912. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yellow ticket, 307884. 307884.
Winner.
There is? Okay.
We got 10 left.
10 left. Okay. Blue ticket, 350017. What's that mean? Oh, right there? All right, we got a winner. Oops, put that back. Hold on. Just start very deep. Blue ticket, 350201. What's that mean? Okay, that means we got a winner on there. Should we turn that away? What do you think, Jake? Get rid of it? Well, isn't it nice to be loved down there? Every day. Every day. Yellow ticket, 307907. 307907. Over there? All right. Blue ticket, 350048.
Winner.
There is?
Yep, back row.
Okay. 6 left. I'm mixing them up. Need a bigger bowl. Go fishing. Yellow ticket, 307827. We got one? Okay. 5 more. How you doing, Kirkhoff? You in line? Okay. Blue ticket, 350229.
Winner.
There's one, okay. You're keeping track of these. We're down to 4, okay. Blue ticket or yellow ticket, 307928. Bingo.
Bingo.
Got one? No speech. Just go get the prize. You have a record. You have a record for the longest speech in history. So there's another one. Put that in your cop. Blue ticket, 350194.
Here we go.
Got one? Umpire. How many? 2? Yellow ticket, 307816. 3, none, 3. Somebody holler?
Winner.
Terry. Really?
It's 3 at that time.
Last one is a blue ticket, and then I'll turn it over to Mr. McKean, whichever you prefer. 350242. Somebody holler, Jim? Right here? Okay. Please take your ticket. Take your ticket and go to the back corner.
All right, Scott's going to the battle line. So, real quick, congratulations to all the award winners, inductees. Hopefully it was a special night for you guys. Heartfelt thanks to all involved making this night a special occasion. Raffle winners go in the back area. Do not forget, coaches, Hall of Fame nominations for 2020 in by, or 2019, sorry, in by July 1st. And then have a good night. If you want to get pictures, get your pictures, inductees over by the plaques. We'll go through that. Thank you.